Hello and welcome. When we think of architecture, our minds often conjure soaring skyscrapers, ancient pyramids, and grand cathedrals. But long before humanity laid its first foundation stone, nature had its own master builders. These architects, beavers, termites, birds, weaver ants, and coral polyps, have been shaping our world. They work not with steel and concrete, but with mud, sticks, leaves, and even their own bodies. Today I want to take you on a journey into this hidden world of animal architecture. We'll venture into dense forests, sun-scorched plains, and beneath the ocean surface to witness these marvels firsthand. Join me as we explore 5 extraordinary animal architects whose work will blow your mind. Let us begin our exploration of nature's grand designs. Our first architect is a true landscape engineer, a creature whose tireless work can alter the course of rivers and create entire ecosystems. This is the beaver. Found across North America and Eurasia, it possesses an innate drive to build. Let's watch how this humble engineer reshapes an entire landscape. First, the dam. Using powerful self-sharpening incisors, a beaver can fell a tree 8 inches in diameter in minutes. A feat of natural lumberjacking that sets the stage for its grand designs. The dam is built from a woven matrix of logs, branches, mud, stones, smaller sticks, vegetation, packed mud. The beaver anchors large logs into the riverbed to form a stable base, then meticulously fills gaps, tamping mud to make the barrier watertight. This calculated process slows water flow, creating a deep, still pond. The pond becomes a sanctuary. Entrance to the lodge is underwater for safety. Inside the pond, the beaver builds a dome-shaped lodge of wood and mud. A dry, raised platform for resting and raising young, with stored branches for feeding. Thick, mud-plastered walls insulate the lodge, keeping it warm through harsh winters. Beaver ponds become biodiversity hotspots, supporting plants, insects, and amphibians. Dams trap sediment, purify water, and mitigate droughts and floods. They attract fish, waterfowl, otters, and deer, transforming streams into thriving wetlands. Each log placed and each gap plugged is instinct honed over millennia. The beaver reshapes its world, creating water and life that persist beyond its lifetime. From the sun-baked savannas of Africa, Australia, and South America rise another kind of architecture. Termite mounds, some over 30 feet high, are not piles of dirt but sprawling, sophisticated cities. Millions of tiny blind workers labor in perfect harmony. They mix soil with saliva and feces to make a concrete-like building material. Walls so thick and hard they can withstand elephants and protect the colony from predators. From anteaters to aardvarks, many predators are kept at bay by this fortress. The true genius lies within, a masterpiece of passive climate control. A large central chimney and porous channels create convection currents that ventilate the colony. Hot, stale air rises and CO2 diffuses out while fresh oxygen seeps in. Cooler air sinks along exterior channels and reaches subterranean chambers. Inside chambers, termites cultivate fungus gardens for food and tend nurseries of eggs and young. A fortified royal cell houses the queen, who can lay thousands of eggs a day. This passive ventilation system has inspired human architects designing energy-efficient buildings, nature's air conditioning perfected over millions of years. A self-sustaining city where each individual plays its part for the whole, a social superorganism, architecture at scale. Now we take to the air to explore the dazzling world of avian architects. Bird nests range from simple scrapes to astonishingly complex structures. Few match the artistry and dedication of the weaver bird. The male selects a branch and ties the first blade of grass to form an anchor. Using only beak and feet, he loops, knots, and interlaces hundreds to thousands of grass blades. The result is a hollow, insulated sphere with a downward entrance. But sometimes architecture is about aesthetics more than shelter. Enter the bowerbird, a builder of theaters for courtship. Males obsessively collect blue feathers, berries, bottle caps, and plastic trinkets. Some even paint their court with crushed berries. Females tour multiple bowers and judge construction and artistry. A theatrical courtship where architecture meets art. From nests that shelter families to bowers that woo partners, birds are master builders. Their designs combine function, insulation, and sometimes pure beauty. Next, we shrink down to witness architecture by living collaboration. Meet the weaver ant, architects who build with living tools. In tropical forests, the canopies host remarkable builders, weaver ants. They don't use mud or twigs. They stitch living leaves together. A scout finds suitable leaves, then signals for reinforcements. Soon dozens of workers arrive to begin a breathtaking team effort. One ant grasps the leaf edge with its mandibles, another grips its petiole, another joins, and another forming a living chain. Dozens stretch across the gap and in coordinated effort, contract to pull leaves together. Several chains may work in parallel, holding leaves in place for the next phase. Workers then emerge carrying a precious cargo, their larvae. The larvae can secrete silk. Adults squeeze and use them like living shuttles. Repeated thousands of times, the larva's silk forms a durable seam binding leaves. The silk dries quickly, creating a strong suture. Leaf by leaf, chamber by chamber, the colony builds multi-room nests that span trees. Some nests house up to 500,000 individuals. An architectural marvel built with living tools and selfless cooperation. A fortress in the trees crafted by teamwork at its finest. For our final architect, we descend beneath the waves to the coral reefs. Here, tiny coral polyps build the largest living structures on Earth. A polyp is little more than a stomach with tentacles, often the size of a grain of rice. Together in their billions, they construct reefs visible from space. Each polyp secretes a limestone corallite, a stony cup that forms the reef's foundation. Microscopic algae called zooxanthellae photosynthesize, providing most of the polyp's food. Through budding and secretion, reefs grow millimeter by millimeter across generations. Some reefs formed over thousands to millions of years. The reef's three-dimensional architecture provides niches for fish, crustaceans, turtles, and sharks. Though reefs cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, they support roughly 25% of marine species. We've seen engineers that reshape landscapes, climate-controlling towers, woven nests, living chains, and reefs that birth life. These structures teach us about materials, physics, engineering, and community. They remind us that the drive to build and shape our environment is universal. These architectures create habitats, support ecosystems, and enrich biodiversity. If you enjoyed these amazing builders, please like this video and subscribe for more nature stories. Thanks for joining me on this journey.